Now that GBT08 is out in Japan, let's talk the new Royal Paladin support. So today I'm going to discuss all the important Royal Paladin cards that I believe came out in GBT08. So don't be surprised if some of the cards that you guys are looking for don't come up in this video. But for every card I talk about, I'll have a link to their Cardfight wiki page down in the description so you can check the card out for yourself. And if there's a card that I didn't talk about, leave it in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to deviate its effect with you if you really want to. So without further ado, let's jump into it with the triple rare. So I already talked about Fides in my last video, so I'm going to be very blunt about him here. So Fides basically allows you to have a first stride that searches out any combo piece you're missing or some setup cards, such as Beanon or Twin Sword, while still being able to keep the stuff without hitting like Godblade used to. So this card basically replaces Godblade in every Royal deck, and if you play it at a higher number, you get its second skill off of giving 2 units 5k and retiring one of your opponent's regrets if you have Brave when it attacks. Of course, barring you have Generation Break 3. So next is the new G Guardian for Royals, Vivinus Sacred Staff Andreas. Most people know my thoughts about it, but I'm just going to be very specific on this card. I don't like it, and I think some players don't like it either, especially because the continuous effect, but I could see it being played quite a bit in some Royal decks if you have multiple grade 2s on the board, especially if you're playing cards like Tech Gull, which basically act like a booster, but is a grade 2, or playing Alt Mile, which this could be good as a one-off. I don't think I'm going to play one in Sanctuary Guard. I could just be wrong. This is just me before I actually try the card. But it's definitely a good card for decks where you run Tech Gull and a good amount of grade 2s. And I definitely think it's worth testing out. I just don't like it. So if you test it out and have better results with it, please let me know. And now onto the rares of the set. So this is Full Genius. Full Genius skill is basically pretty simple. So when you have Brave when he attacks, he gets plus 5k for every of your 2 rear guards. So he's okay. He's an okay backup to Alma, but there's a card that I'm going to talk about later that I think is even better. And then his secondary skill is when he's placed on Vanguard, you discard a card, search your deck for up to 1 grade 2 card, call it to rear guard, shuffle your deck, and if that unit has the Brave ability, at the end of turn, return it to your hand. I love this effect. Like, I don't know what just makes it appealing for me. It's just so nice to have some early rush going on with this card. And especially due to how Brave is structured, you could have some cards in your hand that you want to keep for setup. So it provides a self-defense ability, if you will, for some of those retire heavy decks like Narukami, where they could vanquisher it away. But instead of vanquishing it, you return it to your hand. So that's mainly why I like him. I could see myself playing one of this in my Alt Mile deck, but I think there's a better card which I think you should play more than one of, and it's a common, so I'll mention that card in a sec. But next rare is Dionys. So Dionys' skill is basically he gains plus 1k for each one of your Brave rear guards, and he basically says like Counterblast 1. Hold on, I'll read the full skill. He gets plus 1k for every one of your Brave rear guards, and once per turn, GB1 Brave. Until end of turn, you counterblast 1, he gets 2k, and at the end of the turn, you bounce one of your rear guards with the Brave ability to your hand. So it's basically like Hopekeeper, the Brave Perfect Guard, where it gains 2k and you return it to the hand, but this guy works with any Brave unit. So he's pretty nice. I don't think he'll be played at more than 3, even might not play it at all. But he gets you your numbers and he gets you the cards in your hand. So that's pretty much it for Dionys. So next on to the next rare, the Jewel Knight card, which is not completely unplayable. I still think some people will play one. But it's an okay tech. I still think having the perfect guards is better, but it's a Sentinel, and when it's placed on Guardian Circle from the hand, so you can't quint at wall with it if you still play it. If you have a Vanguard with Jewel Knight in its name, call the same number of cards from your top of your deck to Guardian Circle as the number one of the same number of your Jewel Knight rear guards and units you have, not rear guards, units. So this card, it's okay. But I still think having the perfect guard is better just because it could ensure the attack doesn't hit. Because against those control decks, you're not generally going to have the units for this to be fully taken advantage of. So that I wouldn't play it at more than one, or not play it at all, just because perfect guarding is just straight up better. So that's pretty much it for all the royal rares. Now on to the royal commons that I think are pretty good. Sanctuary of Light finally got support, but it's really nothing. It's just a critical trigger, so it's not really going to do much. So, the card that I was mentioning earlier with Dianus and Philgenus and all that stuff, so is Knight of Mastery Glennis. So, Glennis' skill is when he attacks the Vanguard, he gets plus 4,000 power until the end of that battle. And that's not Brave, and it's on Vanguard and Rearguard, so it's pretty good. And in your deck, while you have Brave, he gets grade -1. He becomes a grade 2. Even though he's a 10k base, you boost with mostly 7k boosters, so you can hit 21 easily. And with how quickly the Brave deck powers up your rear guards, this deck is a neat tech option, and I definitely see most Royal Brave players running this card at a decent number, maybe 2, in order to get full advantage of his becoming a grade 2 skill. Because let's face it, I play the deck, and you run out of grade 2s so quickly that sometimes you wish your grade 3s were 2s. Or wish that it said grade 2 or greater. This card basically answered my prayers. So I definitely really like Glennis, and I hope you guys like him too. So the next common that Royals got that is very important is Escort Eagle. Escort Eagle basically says, GB1 Brave, while you have 3 or less cards in your hand when he intercepts or is placed on the guardian circle, he gets plus 5,000 shield, making him a 10k shield because he is a grade 2 interceptor. But the main point of this card is that it has resist, so it cannot be chosen by the effects of your opponent's cards. So this is finally a grade 2 resist Royals we're looking for. The thing that kills it for me is that you have to have Brave. So I might not even play this or even care about it much, but the fact that it has resist always makes it a viable option for me if I ever decide to play it in an area which is dominated by control. So I like Escort Eagle a little bit. I'm still going on and off about it, but definitely, finally, Royals have a card with resist, grade 2, so they can get around Denial Griffin, instead of having to take up space for that grade 1 Laura Rapier when your grade 1 space is basically Perfect Guard, Stride Enablers, Mirons, or Saleems if you're playing Sanctuary Guard and Brave, or Unos if you're playing Alpha respectively. So this card gives you some more playability and viability in your grade 2s, even though it would be a tight fit. So the next card is a card that I really like, actually, surprisingly. Knight of Force Onus. So it has the Brave ability Soul Blast 1. When your other unit is placed in the same column as this unit, you may pay the cost. If you do, this unit gets plus 3,000 power, making him a 10k booster. If you have a grade 4 or greater Vanguard, he gets plus 3,000 power. So this card is probably used best with the early rush, with Sanctuary Guard, Altmile, Alfred, decks like that. But the fact that he could be used even when you have a grade 4 Vanguard definitely makes him very versatile. And I hope that Wishroad will make more cards like this that activate before you stride. Excuse me. And all of this, that and the other. Even though you mainly want to use the soul for Richard, Mion, and Benon and all that, it's still a neat tech that you could try out. I would like to try it out because it could basically turn a 10k booster and then get some great stuff numbers going. So definitely nice. Turns your twin sword columns into 31. Yeah, it turns them into 31. So that's 10 plus 21. Yeah, 31. So they're going to have to be dropping at least a G Guardian and a 5k shield in order to defend that, or just drop a screw and another card. So that's minimal 2 cards to block that twin sword attack. Of course, the damage triggers would have to be taken into account, but still, on paper, it seems pretty good. It'd be nice to try it out and stuff, so yeah. And the last card that we're going to talk about is Knight of Ceremony, Peru. So, Peru over here is not in South America, but is in a Vanguard set. So it has the GB1 ability of Brave while you have 3 or less cards in your hand. During the battle that it boosts a unit with the Brave ability, and now that Brave has a pretty decent card pool, it's not likely not gonna go off. The boosted unit gets plus 3,000, so it's an automatic 9k booster while you're at Brave, but Salim is just better at that point. And it has the skill of Counterblast 1. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, draw a card. So wait, you're saying I boost with this when I attack in a deck where I play stands? Well, I'm probably not going to after set 8, but I draw a card if the attack hits a Vanguard, and now I'm out of Brave. But it's an okay card. It's not entirely unplayable, but I see this as one of the cards that Bushiroad makes and no one's going to use. Let's face it, that's most of the Royal card pool in general. Even though we have so much support, there's a lot of cards that we don't play. So that's pretty much it for this set review for Royal, I guess. Yeah, we'll call it set review going forward. So if there's any cards that I missed, any cards you want me to talk about from set 8, please leave a comment down below. And what clan you would like to see me do this with next. Because I did this with Royals because it's probably my favorite deck out of set 8. And if you want me to do this like Neonectar, Dark Irregulars, Link Joker, Genesis, Kagero, stuff like that, just please leave a comment down below. I love to engage with you guys and talk about different clans, different decks, because I slowly want to branch out into other clans so I get better knowledge of this game. So anyway, guys, thank you all for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.